All right, so first junior league event under our belts here. So again, our main purpose of doing the junior league is to show, how do we get better at this game? Give yourself a path, a way to improve. And so, as we're moving from the white hat level to the yellow hat, and even into the orange hat level beyond that, the one thing that we see is we start going back to our practice card. And this very front of the practice card, you're going to see all the short game games, and that's where that part comes from. As you started keeping track last night, you wrote down your putts. That's a great first step to starting to understand your game. So we'll throw a few numbers with it. If you're a PGA Tour player, we all love to talk about how the guys on TV and the ladies, they hit it so far with their driver. The part that we always seem to forget about, though, is their average for 18 holes for the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour is right around 29 and a half putts. That's for 18 holes. So think about how many putts you had for 9 holes, and you're going to start looking at where the differences are at. And that's one of the biggest ones I usually see as we start out. So as you're working on it for the next event coming up in August, big thing is to start looking at, all right, if I started working on my putting and I got down to a number and a goal, how would I be able to work from there? So what I like to do is, and the reason we do these scorecards is because you can track and you can keep stats. So what I would do is look on there, and I'd say for like the 9-hole putting game, for example, I'd put down that the number of putts. Let's say you had 25 in the tournament yesterday. I'd put that down and say that's what I had yesterday. Now my goal is to keep beating that when I go to practice. And if you set that as your goal as you go through, the next couple of weeks, I really think you'll be surprised at what you see your scores go, even if you bypassed going and hitting your driver at the range. Now, if you had enough putts, or if you feel like if you got your putts down a little bit and you still don't think your score is where you wanted to be, well, the next part you'd go to would be the chipping up and down portion. Okay, that's where you start looking at, okay, if I get the ball somewhere around the green, am I able to get the ball on the green, and combine that with some good putting? Again, my goal is to show the real way to get good at this game. There's a lot of fluff to say, hey, you got to hit the ball really far, when in reality it's the short game that makes the difference. And start thinking back to your round yesterday. How many times did you hit the ball on the green on the first shot and you didn't make 3 or 4? Or how many times you hit it right next to the green and you didn't make 3 or 4? That's really all that comes down to, and that's the goal, and that's what we're trying to show you through this hat system, and show you through the whole tournament series, is how do we get better at the game. And again, we learn from the green backwards. It has the biggest impact on your score, and it's also the way that's going to make you a better player in the long run, from here all the way to some pretty high levels of the game as we go. So keep working on it. We'll be working on it in sessions. Thanks for coming out. We look forward to seeing you at the next one. All right.